what is the best way for a friend, or like to help a friend, or a friend to help you through an anxiety attack? So if someone saw you struggling, or you get a call from someone and they're struggling through a panic attack, how, like, what are some steps to help people? Because I know that other people wouldn't really know how.
Yeah, so I know for me, like, it just helps to be talked through calmly. I think if you're mirroring that person's anxiety, if you're, you know, if someone's anxiety attack is making you anxious too, I think that the best thing to do is to step back as a friend and think, okay, this person is anxious, this person is, their heart's racing, and, you know, they're sweating and they're feeling really uncomfortable at the moment. I think the best thing to do for a friend is to be calm and supportive. Talk them through it, be rational, you know, explain to them that they can do it, that they're special, that they mean a lot to you, that they can do this and they can get through it. And I think for me, you know, if it really helps to be reassured. I'm huge with reassurance. I mean, in my past relationships, like with my past partners, I have always sought reassurance. Always, you know, are we okay? Do you still love me? And that's part of my anxiety, and at the time I didn't know that, but now I do. And I'm single at the moment, but my next relationship, I'll be a lot more aware of, you know, of not using my anxiety to need to ask for reassurance. And I think I didn't know it back then, but I think when I did need to ask for reassurance all the time, that was a little bit of an anxiety attack. I panic attack. I didn't know at the time. I just thought it was me being clingy or anything like that. But it's just part of an anxiety attack. But the thing is, it's a learning experience. So I know in my next relationship that I will,
like, you're aware of it.
So aware of it, and aware of knowing that I don't need to ask for reassurance. That if, you know, if someone loves me, they love me, and I don't need to constantly question them and ask them if they do love me.
That's why they're with you.
100%.
Yeah. It's so hard though. Like, I think other girls may have said this to their partners, or, you know, girl to girl, boy to boy, like, do you still love me? Are we a thing? Are we together? And not all of that is just being clingy and what people say is annoying. It's how much insecurities we already have and the pressure around us. Like, you know, sorry, my camera just decided to turn itself off. So
we were stopped mid-sentence.
We're stopped mid-sentence. So
I remember the question though.
Yeah, and what we were mentioning was, well, I kind of was just adding to it, the girls feel like being, like, when they're saying, do you love me? Or they're questioning the relationship all the time, girls or boys, that isn't always being clingy. It's something that we're all so insecure, and those insecurities have grown from somewhere, and it's watching other people's relationships that seem perfect and wanting that. So I think with your partner, knowing that they're with you and accepting that love is so hard when you're already dealing with so much anxiety and depression.
100%.
Like, why do you want to be with me? Why not her? She's better than me. You could have all this, but you're with me. You're helping me through an anxiety attack. You could be out with the boys, like drinking or whatever, or having an amazing time on holiday, but you're here with me because I don't really feel like going out, or this is where we are in our life. And I think that's something that I know you definitely will struggle with, because
100%.
you're so used to, like,
and even
like the pressures that you put yourself through, which is, like, it's awful, but it's just something that you have to, they need to be aware of as well, so they're respecting your who you are, and not just treating your issues as a joke as well.
And I think when I know that I'm with the right person, I won't need to ask for reassurance.
No.
And I'll know that, and I think that's when I'll know that I'm with the right person, because I'll just know that they love me. And I think I'm not discrediting I've only really had 2 serious relationships, but I'm not discrediting any of them, but I did have to ask for reassurance a lot in those relationships. And I think in my next one, I I'll know it, I'm repeating myself here, but I'll know it's the right person when I don't need to question their love for me. I'll just know. And you know, you in your relationship, you know that Brad loves you.
Yeah. But it took me so long to accept that love. Like, he told me he loved me before I told him, and I didn't believe it. I just thought he was joking. Like, how, like, what? I just, like, I couldn't accept it, and I just didn't understand. I was like, I don't get it, which is so sad. And then, you know, Brad was sad that I couldn't say it back. Like, it's such a personal thing to talk about, but I just know that I'm not the only one who that's happened to, and it was devastating that I couldn't just, like, I didn't believe it. Like, what? It's just something that you don't really think will happen. Like, you know, someone tells you that they love you, it should be like the best thing, whereas I was questioning it, which just shows like where my mind was at the time. Like, that was a few years ago. So it's just hard. Like, you just don't understand why when you have such low self-esteem, and it's not okay. Like, it sucks.
I know. And even last night I went out on the town, and you're in a club situation, and you know, you think, you know, with my low self-esteem, like, it took a lot for me to actually go out and think, oh, you know, I actually feel good tonight. Like, I feel like I look good tonight. Yeah. And I did, and I put a lot of effort into what I wore and my makeup and everything. Oh, so sweet. But you know, I was still in a club, and the guys around me were fawning over the girls wearing next to nothing, and it doesn't fare well on my self-esteem at all, because you think to yourself, oh, I thought I looked good tonight.
Yeah. And you put in so much effort, and you're wondering, like, does anyone know how much effort I put in? Like, a lot of the time, like, I want to wear makeup and do myself up to feel good, and I want to do it for me. Because obviously I'm not going to, like, impress anyone because I'm in a relationship, but not even that. Like, a lot of the time when I was single going out, like, you do question if someone's, you know, no one's looking at you the whole night. You're kind of wondering, like, well, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And nothing is. It's just the type of guys that are around you, and, like, you probably don't, like, you don't want any of them anyway if they're not, like...
100%.
And, it, like, no one, like, not everyone finds their true love in a club as well, so...
No.
Love at this club.
You can find your true love on a tram. Or
yeah, anywhere. Literally.
Love in a club, yes.
Is that
Usher?
Usher, yeah. Usher.
I wanna, oh no, it's I wanna make love in this club. I love how this has turned into, like, a relationship.
I know. Well, that's another video. I know. And I'm sorry about the framing. It's just changing all the time because the lighting is going. Do you have any last questions?
No.
Do you have?
I've got a few, but I realise they're all kind of the same. So.
What are they?
I'll show you later.
Okay.
But we can
finish up. I'm just trying to think if there's any last things I have to say. I guess what I probably want to add is, yeah, it's not, you're not alone dealing with anxiety and depression and mental health. Yeah, I don't know, the stats are like 1 in 3 people are struggling with it, but you just don't know how many people in the same party, in the same room, in the same, like, your housemates. Like, just really do ask. Like, I know it's cliche, but, like, the are you okay day, like, is so important to ask people how they're really doing, because you can have just on the surface conversations with friends if you haven't spoken to them in a while.
Yeah, like you go out for coffee and it's, oh, how's your life? How's uni? Nah, nah.
Yeah, and you just talk. So, yeah, I would definitely, guy to guy, girl to girl, girl to girl, just talk about your feelings a lot more in depth, because there's nothing wrong with feelings. Everyone has feelings. I don't know why people get so weird talking about their mental health. For me, I'm not ashamed to talk about it. If someone asks me about it, I kind of be like, okay, cool. Like, I'd be more worried why they were asking me. I'd feel for them. I'd be like, okay, well, if you're asking me about this, like, are you okay? And just to get that conversation going is so important. And the, you know, more and more shows are coming out, more and more documentaries are coming out about mental health. Thank goodness, because I don't think people treat it as severe an illness as it is. Like, it's, we don't know anything about the brain still. We're still trying to figure it out, and there are so many misconceptions about, like, antidepressants and what actually happens to the brain during panic attacks and things like that, and strategies like brainstorming with your friend who's also dealing with it. You could get a tip from them, like
It's
how
so
to cope.
important.
Like it's so
Yeah, and share
good.
your experiences, you know, like it's taking, you know, we wanted to do this video to be open and honest about anxiety, depression and social situations and the constant reassurance seeking and all that that we've discussed today. You know, it's so important to shine a light on these, on what happens. And, you know, everyone that you meet could be suffering, and it's so important to remember that, you know, to be supportive and open and honest and raw with your friends, and your friends are there to support you. They're not there to judge, and if they are, then they're not your friends.
No. If your friends just think, oh, okay, well, you're dealing with something, you're not fun, I'm gonna hang out with someone who's more fun, you don't need people like that in your life. You need people who are there for the good times and the bad, and who will pick up the phone even if you don't want to go out for brunch, if you just want to chat and you can't get out of bed. Like, if someone just speaks to you when you're in a good mood, that's not real. What's like, no one's happy all the time, and if they are, probably on Valium, or they're probably like no one is happy all the time. It's just not in human nature. You have different emotions, you have so many feelings and expressions that no one is actually happy all the time. You can be happy in your life, of course, and you can have, you know, be blessed with family, and you love your job, you love your dog or your cat or your car or anything you have that makes you happy. But you can have off days. No one's happy all the time. I just don't understand why people get so weirded out if you are down for a few days, or get like, oh, well, you're not fun. Like, well, I will hang out with you when you're more fun, or when you want to go out, because I don't want to be in this depressive environment.
Yeah, you need to be there for the good and the bad.
Yeah,
and I think that's the...
Yeah, that's probably the message.
Yeah.
Be a good friend to people who are struggling with this, and like, we're so lucky to have each other. And if you're out there and you are dealing with this alone, like, you don't know who around you is dealing with it as well. And like, try not be afraid to talk about it, because talking about it has helped us so much. And like, our families know, and like people around us know when we're dealing with certain things, and they don't look at us like, you know, we're crazy or anything like that, because it's such a sensitive topic. And yeah, it makes me sad when people don't get the support that they need. So
seek help.
Yeah, there's
talk
obviously
to your friends, talk to your family.
Yeah.
No one's there to judge, and if they are, as we said,
You don't
they're
need
not
them.
worth being around.
They're toxic. You don't need that in your life. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there. It's been a really long video, so thanks for sticking around if you did. Yeah, like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of this video. If you want to see any more videos like this, Amy and I are quite happy to do any sort of talk through videos, because we love doing them, and we just want to help. And this is the kind of stuff that I really want on my channel and want to promote and talk about, because I think that it needs to be said. And there's a lot of crap on the internet, and I don't want stuff that I'm producing to just be part of that crap. I want it to matter, and I want people to be more open and accepting of mental health issues. So yeah, I guess we'll see you guys later.
See you next time.
Oh, I don't know if that one.